Chase Briscoe was running out of time. The season was slipping, the pressure was building, and everyone watching knew the number 19 team needed something big, fast. And on the 10th of May 2026, at Watkins Glen International, that's exactly what they got. Chase Briscoe rolled into the Go Bowling at the Glen with his back against the wall. His season has been a roller coaster full of high hopes and tough setbacks. Fans were starting to wonder if his playoff dreams were quietly slipping away. The story coming into this race was simple. Briscoe needed a strong finish, and he needed it now. He started the race in 9th place. Not bad, but not where you want to be when you're trying to make a statement. 9th means there are 8 cars ahead of you, 8 problems to solve, and 8 drivers fighting just as hard as you are. For a guy carrying the weight of a struggling season, that starting spot felt like a long climb. But here's where things got interesting. From the moment the green flag dropped, the number 19 car looked sharp. Briscoe wasn't just hanging on, he was hunting. Lap after lap, he kept his car steady, kept his tires alive, and kept his eyes on the cars ahead. Watkins Glen is a road course, which means lots of left turns, lots of right turns, and lots of chances to make a mistake. One wrong move on a road course, and your day is done. Briscoe didn't make those mistakes. The real magic, though, came from the strategy. And this is where his team deserves a huge round of applause. In NASCAR, winning isn't just about driving fast. It's about knowing when to pit, when to stay out, when to put on fresh tires, and when to save fuel. The crew chief calling the shots has to be part chess master, part fortune teller. Get it right, and you move up the field. Get it wrong, and you fall back like a stone. On this day, the number 19 team got it right. Every single call. Their tire strategy was perfect. Their fuel strategy was perfect. They knew exactly when to bring Briscoe down pit road and exactly when to keep him out. Other teams gambled and lost. Other teams played it safe and got past. But Briscoe's crew threaded the needle, and it paid off in a huge way. By the time the checkered flag waved, Chase Briscoe had climbed all the way up to 4th place. His final race time, 2 hours, 29 minutes, and 30.156 seconds. A clean run, a smart run, and exactly the kind of run his season was begging for. 4th place might not sound as flashy as a win, but in NASCAR, a top 5 finish is gold. It means you beat 30-plus other professional drivers on a track where one tiny slip can ruin everything. And for a driver fighting to stay in the playoff picture, those finishes are worth their weight in trophies. Speaking of playoffs, let's talk about the points. Briscoe walked away from Watkins Glen with 35 championship points stuffed into his back pocket. In the NASCAR Cup Series, points are everything. They decide who gets into the playoffs, who stays in the playoffs, and who watches the championship from their couch. 35 points in a single afternoon is a serious boost. For a driver who has been bouncing between great days and bad days all season long, this finish hits different. It's not just about the number on the scoreboard, it's about the message it sends. The message is this: the number 19 team is not done. They are not folding. They are not going away quietly. When the pressure gets cranked all the way up, they can still deliver. That's the kind of performance that wakes up a whole race team. Drivers feed off it, crew members feed off it, sponsors feed off it, even fans at home feed off it. One strong run can change the entire mood of a season, and this looked like one of those runs. Think about what Briscoe was up against coming into this weekend. The headlines weren't kind, the chatter wasn't kind. Every time he climbed into that race car, people were asking the same questions. Can he turn it around? Does he have what it takes? Will the playoffs slip through his fingers? For weeks, those questions didn't have a clear answer. But at Watkins Glen, Briscoe answered them with his driving. He didn't need a press conference. He didn't need fancy words. He just needed 40 laps, a green flag, and a chance to show what he's made of. And that's the beauty of NASCAR. You can talk all you want during the week, but Sunday is when the truth comes out. The car doesn't lie, the clock doesn't lie, the scoreboard doesn't lie. If you can get the job done, the result tells the whole story. The result here told a great story for Chase Briscoe. Now, let's not pretend one race fixes everything. The season is long, and there are still plenty of battles ahead. The playoff picture is still tight. Other drivers are still fighting just as hard. One top 5 finish doesn't suddenly hand Briscoe a championship, but what it does do is something just as important. It builds momentum. And in NASCAR, momentum is one of the most powerful things a team can have. When a team starts believing in itself again, when the crew chief starts feeling lucky on his calls, when the driver starts trusting his car in every corner, that's when things start to snowball in a good way. This finish also proves something about the team's road course program. Watkins Glen is a tricky place. The hills, the corners, the brake zones, the elevation changes. It's not a track where you can just show up and figure it out. You have to come prepared, and the number 19 team clearly came prepared. That kind of preparation doesn't happen by accident. It happens because mechanics stayed late at the shop. It happens because engineers looked at data until their eyes hurt. It happens because everyone in that organization decided this race was going to be different. And it was. Looking ahead, the question becomes simple. Can Briscoe build on this? Can he take the confidence from Watkins Glen and stack another strong finish on top of it? Because that's how playoff runs are made. Not with one big day, but with a string of solid days that add up over time. If he can keep his car in the top 10 week after week, if his team can keep nailing the strategy, if he can keep his head cool when the pressure builds, then this Watkins Glen run could be the moment people point to later. The moment everything started to click. The moment the number 19 team turned the corner. It's too early to say for sure, but it sure feels possible. For now, fans of Chase Briscoe finally have something to smile about. After a long stretch of frustration and what-ifs, their driver delivered a clean, smart, fast race when the moment demanded it. He started 9th, he finished 4th, and he picked up 35 championship points along the way. He didn't just survive the day, he owned it. And in a season where survival has sometimes felt like the goal, owning a day at one of the toughest road courses on the schedule is a big deal. A really big deal. So next time Chase Briscoe pulls onto pit road and his crew gets ready to send him out, remember this race. Remember the strategy that worked. Remember the laps that were patient. Remember the climb from 9th to 4th, because that's the version of Briscoe his team has been chasing all year, and at Watkins Glen, they finally caught it.